Okay.
Gotta have a game on, baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh
Okay.
wait,
Yeah.
I feel alive because I have a little piece to say about the concert.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah, that's right. What's up, everybody? It's
remember,
Ark. What's up, welcome to our music show. Me, Arknolia and YR, and we just started, as you can see. And YR saw Sammy Hagar in the Circle not too long ago.
and
Yeah.
George Thorogood.
And
Did you see
George,
those?
I've heard of George. We know George Thorogood like the back of my hand. I mean, I first heard of him way back in 1979 with his cover of "Moving On Over." That was one of his big radio hits there. Of course, we
So
cannot forget "Bad to the Bone."
I'll send you all the link to that.
All right, there. All right. So definitely
And
head on to this end here.
then or the music channel.
That's right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he did about 8 or 9 songs, probably like 8 songs,
Well,
7, 8 songs. Thorogood,
well,
and it was tremendous. It
oh
was
yeah.
crazy. It was phenomenal, and he was using an Epiphone guitar. But I look back in the day, he used the Gibson brand, obviously.
Like a
What is that?
Birdland guitar, like
What
Nugent
that is?
does.
He uses a white and black one,
Yeah.
and he uses a slide as well. Dr. Brown, he uses a slide. Uh,
And also he doesn't use a pick, by the way. He picks with
really,
his fingers. Yeah. I remember
because
seeing
we
him in.
like videos when he wants the videos. Like I had to zoom in all the way. Like when you see videos, when you're in person, it's closer than it looks on video. Um, it's kind of hard to, at the end, I got up basically to the third row. I went down the
Yep.
aisle, pretty much like the third row because security was like behind the first row people.
Yeah.
But I had to get that When Eagles Fly, and then they did a little acapella of Cabo Wabo
Uh huh.
as well. Really cool. But okay, so this is hard to explain. This is hard to explain. Some it might sound dumb, but I'm gonna try to simplify it. And when you're at a concert, and whether it's you drinking or other people drinking, um, you know how like you'll like high five someone or give them a fist bump, like sing along with people. It's
Yes.
an experience that is priceless. Just I'm just the bigger picture here. Basically, what I'm getting to is like music is the international language, and music is
Hmm.
the peace of the world. The peace is peaceful and brings people together. People you don't even know, blah blah blah. So there was this guy and his wife sitting next to us. Everyone's drinking. I mean, bro, Brown.
Obviously,
Every
yeah.
everyone, probably like 99% of the people there had gray hair. It was the oldest concert I've been to ever. It was like older than Judas Priest. Like
Hmm.
I was probably the youngest person there. There wasn't no like group of younger people or um, the gothic people. None of that shit. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I mean, you could tell like there was maybe a few 30s here and there, but I mean, there's a lot of people with canes.
Hmm.
There's a lot of lot of great. Well, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's like wow, like 'cause you got to think of it. Those people were probably 40 back in like the 80s or
Wow.
or even the 70s, right? And
Yeah.
so even it just depends. Like there's a lot of Van Halen has like that 30, 40 year old, 50-year old demographic, like
Yes.
grown but not like I don't know. It's getting into the oldies though because people really are gray hair. It was crazy. It was cool. I mean, you can smell the weed. People
Hmm.
did light
Of
up
course,
there
yeah.
during Thorogood and during Tammy. You could smell it.
Yep.
Um, so what I'm trying to get to here is right. People fist bump, people high five, like oh, your song comes on, or you're singing the song and
Yep.
whatever, blah blah blah. But there's an action that drunk people do. I wasn't. I drank a whole beer. I drank like a 60 tall boy. That's all. I wasn't drunk or nothing. But feeling good. This other guy was drunk. I mean, he was doing margarita on the rocks with his wife. A couple of those. He was cool, chilling, whatever. But I call this move the grasp of the hand. So what you'll do instead of a high five, you'll palm with you'll put the other person's hand in your hand and like grasp it together and like hold it, like hugging your hand together. And I experienced that because people get drunk and people are
Yep.
like I mean they were doing a lot of Van Halen, probably
Yeah.
75% Van Halen, Van Hagar songs.
Yeah.
So I mean songs like Right Now, when you hear the fucking drill for Pound Cake. I mean, the nostalgia is there. That's what I'm trying to get to. And when you're drunk, when you're drinking, I'm gonna try to get. So I'm gonna start drinking tequila. I mean, not tequila on the rocks, but margarita on the rocks, because that seems to be. Obviously the drinks at this place were like $15 beers, $20 drink. Like it
Oh,
was
no
pricey.
surprise,
It was
man. No
pricey.
surprise.
It was pricey, but I mean, Sammy Hagar was selling his drinks. They were doing like for those cans, like he does like it's like the seltzer, like rum seltzers, the pre-mixed drinks, but it's like in a can, like the Red Bull can, smaller
Yeah.
can. Small can of that is they were doing like $13-14 for that. I was like, wow. But the point I'm trying to make
Wow.
is, do y'all get what I'm saying? Like when you like say you go in for a high five, like you put someone else's palm in your hand, but then you grasp it, and like
Yeah.
you're hugging, like it's a form of
Yes,
endearment,
exactly. It's like a form of endearment and brotherhood. Yes.
brotherhood. Yes, because bro, this the songs. I
Rock
mean,
and roll is a brotherhood, needless to say there.
Tammy's voice. Obviously, it's not like the big screams like back in the day. He still
I
did
know,
the
yeah.
scream, but you got to keep in mind he's like 75. But I mean, I mean, it was
Yeah,
hell
I
of a show.
noticed that
It was
in
hell.
the video, when he was doing I Can't Drive 55, they had to go down a few notches on the chord scale there,
Yeah,
which is
but
often
Michael
common.
Michael Anthony was there, um,
Yep.
looking good. I mean,
Singing good as well.
this is what you're seeing is. I mean, I was blown away. Um, Van Halen as a band. I mean, we all know how great they are. Blah blah blah. But besides tribute shows, Sammy Hagar concert is the only place to listen to Van Halen songs
Yeah.
live. Um,
The Van Hagar period, needless to
I mean,
say there.
I how it was back in the just the '90s with Hagar and Van Halen and them. I can't imagine, but I mean, of course, they had people bringing in the sheets, writing stuff. You know how people like make posters out of sheets,
Yep.
like white sheets.
Banners.
Yeah, the
Banners.
band
That's what
and
they're
stuff.
called.
And people had those, which was always like a Van Halen,
Yeah.
staple. I mean, Sammy was signing autographs. People
Oh,
were.
yeah.
I mean, I wish I would have brought something because like you can talk. People were tossing shirts on stage, but like you can hand your stuff to security guard and they would put it on stage for you.
That's good there.
I mean, Sammy was drinking out of his drink, like his cans, his signature drink, and then he'll
Yep.
like toss it into the audience to someone. I mean, it
Yeah,
was.
that's how I guess that's how he promotes his brand there. Because remember, he has Cabo Wabo, the business place there as well. There, his own brand
See,
of tequila.
it wasn't wild like you think. It wasn't like girls showing tits. It wasn't wild like that, but it was just you're just blown away. I mean, the sound was amazing. I mean, I was probably 2 or 3 rows in front of the mixing board, the soundboard,
Right.
which that's usually the best place. If you can get seats next to the mixing board, that's the best place for sound. Probably like 18 rows back or something like that. But when you're there, it's close. It's like
Yeah.
it's like on the other side of the room or something. Like it's closer than it looks on video.
Wow.
Um, I mean, it's probably one of the top concerts I've been to for real. I mean, it
Man.
was
Which venue
it was
was
crazy.
this, by the way?
It was at a pavilion. It was at the
Cynthia Woods Pavilion.
yeah. I mean, they have like pavilions other places too, but they were in there too. Yeah,
Because
Cynthia
I figured they
Woods.
must have played that place because there was another video as footage from the Woodlands, Texas area there, and I figured that must have been the same spot that I saw Iron Maiden in, the Cynthia Woods
Yeah.
Pavilion there.
Yes.
Yeah. So I figured it must have been in that section.
which that's a good place. That place has been there for years.
Yeah, it is a
These
good place. I agree.
pavilion shows are nice. Um, the lawn gets packed though. It's cool because it's like you get there to the show. You wait around. You start talking to people, like, which is
Yep.
cool too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Um, I think a lot of, I don't want to say middle age now, but back then the middle age women, the married women, your 50-year-olds,
Yep.
some 50-year-old women do gravitate towards Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I mean, obviously like women like David Lee Roth, but like the Sammy Hagar women fans, like those 30-year-olds in the 90s or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like
Precisely.
who was probably teens in the early 80s, because during
Yep.
his solo career or whatever. That's like a thing too, like it's, and then also like the Cabo Wabo thing, the branding, all that, it's kind of
Yeah.
similar to like the Margaritaville. Like the
Mm.
Sammy Hagar thing is in a way like the rock, it's like similar to Jimmy Buffett's deal with the Margaritaville, like the
Yes.
branding
Yes.
all thing, and it's kind of, obviously Buffett's is bigger. um but it was good. It was definitely worth it if they ever come. I mean, he was like, he's going to do this forever. Like, he's going to keep going and doing
Good.
shows. So,
That's good
um,
there.
I mean, Michael Anthony was great too. He did Ain't Talking About Love, dedicated to Eddie.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so I saw the video of that. He sounds pretty. You know what? He never got any credit as a singer. He only
He's
got
the
credit
best.
as a
He
bass
had
player
the
and the
best
backup
backup.
singers. Yeah.
Best backup. And that was the thing for, I mean, we know this, but the people out there, the backing vocals of your Van Halen songs with Eddie and
Alex and Dave
doing
was done by
doing
Michael.
I mean, like, but I've seen Eddie doing vocals too, like singing the mic as well at the same
Yeah.
time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those, um, it's kind of signature thing with Van Halen. I mean, but a lot of those Sammy Hagar songs are about love, like positivity.
Yep.
There's probably
Dreams.
there's like 3 songs with the title "Love" in it, like off
Yep.
the set list already. You talking about love.
Yep.
What's the other ones?
Well, of course, there was Sammy's songs like "I'll Fall in Love Again." That was one of his songs.
Yes.
It's "When It's Love" that he did with Van Halen in the
Why,
'88.
yeah, yeah. Why can't this be love?
Yeah, that was a big hit there from '86. Yeah.
But very, 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 very good concert. I'm
Yeah.
talking nostalgia. I'm talking sound. Um, it got sweat. It got kind of sweaty in there. It got kind of hot, honestly,
Right.
because you're in a big crowd. It kind of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was 90 all day, but you know, it got pretty kind of stuffy in there.
Yep.
But
Yep.
um, shout out to George Thorogood.
Yep.
He pretty old too, but
Yep. But
still
he
rocked
still
it out,
plays.
man.
But he still plays well.
On the
You
day
know,
I was born, the nurses got around, the gaze at the wide wonder.
that's probably
Kinda.
one of his biggest signature songs. But yet, that's probably the
Well,
most
there's
top.
there's
Of
three
course.
there's 3 automatically that I've heard of.
Hmm.
There's that, obviously everyone's heard of that one, Bad to the Bone. There's one bourbon, one scotch, one beer, and then
Yep.
there's
Classic one there.
I Drink Alone, which
We all know,
was
like, very
my
much there.
favorite video that I took. I mean, he rocks that song, I Drink Alone.
Yep.
And the drinks were flowing. You know what I'm saying? In that place for sure. But
Sure, you got to when you would do a song like "I Drink Alone."
it really was a good one, Brian.
That's good there. All right,
Well, let's
so
dive into Phil Susan news real quick. Let's take care of the news, and then we're diving into the list. Ark, I hope you have a list tonight, brother.
okay, I'm looking for.
Um,
I'm gonna get me a list. So look after I read some of the news articles bits. But
Wait,
first,
one thing to
go ahead.
close other stuff. So if you go to the right, I did. When they do the song right now.
Yeah.
Um, Well, first of all, the 9-minute video is When Eagles Fly, and that's the closest I got, probably about third round. So look out for that one. Concert King, Concert KYNG is the music channel where I post all the songs. I'll post
All
like
right.
bigger songs,
Cool.
but all the it's Concert King. And when you want to talk about goosebumps and you want to talk about nostalgia, when the piano starts for Right Now and you see Michael fucking Anthony throwing up the 5150 sign, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's kind of like the DDP sign, but with
The diamond sign.
the diamond sign, but with the devil horns as well. And then you see, and in the video, you see this too. You see he throws up that up, and then you
Yep.
see like not the whole audience, but you see like people throwing up the 5150 in the crowd. I mean, it was
Yeah. A salute.
it was amazing, man. But let's dive into the Phyllis Tucson stuff. And
Well, let's dive into these little thing. Before we begin,
yes,
congratulations to Ozzy Osbourne for having his very first #1 album on the Billboard charts. Patient Number 9 hit that spot not too long ago following his somewhat performance at the game, the Rams game, a couple weeks ago or so. This is the first time Ozzy has ever hit #1, as a solo artist. You may remember a couple of years back, him and Black Sabbath hit #1 with the album 13 back in 2013 when that came out there.
yeah.
So definitely congratulations to the Ozman for that. Now, whatever he tours, we do not know. That's still up in the air right now. Some people can speculate. Oh, he still sings good. He'll be able to sing well, full set there. Yeah, but some people up and they get themselves. Well, I'm not. They get themselves hyped up and find out. I can't. So I'm not making no judgments. I'm just gonna say, let's see what happens from here on. When it comes to if Ozzy will tour or not or whichever there, who knows?
Oh, if it's live, it'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, absolutely there. Yes,
There's
absolutely.
there's and I think, and if y'all don't know about this, we need to look into it. But when Ozzy is singing live or whether it's on records, is there some type of, I don't know if you want to call it a filter or some type of
Sound,
voice?
voice. Yeah, he does that a lot on his records. Well, I understand that Ozzy admitted that he does a double track on his voice on each record he did, including with Black Sabbath. He always did that for years.
You know
And I
how
guess a lot of times when he goes live, he'd have a little filter on his voice to simulate that sound on the
hello.
record.
You know how Halford has the echo effect, like, and they do that obviously for the live shows, but
Yes.
when so I, I'm think so I'm thinking when Ozzy does his live shows, he has the same effect live. It's just like a double, not an echo. It's a double
Yes.
effect.
Double
Like,
track.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
that's how Ozzy does his vocals. Remember, like I said, he double tracks his voice. He
Well, he
records, he
does that.
sings over it. Right there. Now, now this is article I got up here is regarding Steve Perry and his former bandmates in Journey.
Oh yes. Did you
Yeah.
put that in the title, bro? That's
No, I didn't. No,
huge.
I didn't. But I'm gonna. No,
Oh,
I didn't too.
God.
But this is real interesting here.
Right. Yes.
Former Journey frontman Steve Perry has filed a petition to cancel trademark registrations for 20 Journey songs filed by his former bandmates Neil Sean and Jonathan Cain. The motion involves some of the group's best well-known radio favorites, including "Any Way You Want It," "Who's Crying Now," "When You Love a Woman," "Hope in Arms," and of course "Separate Ways," and others. Perry's petition says Kane and Sean filed to register the songs in 2020 through Freedom JNLC for uses on hats, T-shirts, athletic jackets, and other paraphernalia items. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office issued the registrations between May and February. Perry says that they violate an earlier agreement that stipulates decisions like these must be made with prior, unwritten, ununanimous consent of all partners in each instance. Those guidelines remain in place on songs where Perry is the sole credited songwriter, including songs like Stay a While, Love and Touch of Squeezing, and Hopelessly in Love after the filing, as well as other group compositions like Stone in Love, Girl Can't Help It, and Send Her My Love. Now, Perry had no hand in writing the song Wheel in the Sky, which is also included in his petition.
Really?
Songwriting credits for each track are broken down by the percentage of the filing. Now, this is the latest legal dispute between a huge rift between former bassist Ross Valerie and former drummer Steve Smith, which briefly led to competing lawsuits over the control of the band. Kane and Sean have already sold their song ownership interests to Hypnosis in June of 2019 and February of 2020, respectively. Perry's petition, executed by Crane and Smith APC, also charges that Kane and Sean with using false or misleading information in securing the trademarks.
Mm.
Yeah.
This
So
this.
wow.
Did Neil Sean start Journey himself, or was it like him and Perry?
No, it actually was started with, I believe it started with him and keyboardist Greg Rowley after their
Who,
departure.
Perry and keyboardist?
No. Greg
Sean?
Rowley is his
Oh.
name.
Perry didn't join to the third or fourth album.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, they released a couple albums without Perry
Who-
prior to Journey. Excuse me. Perry joined the group there, and that was
Wait
in
a
the
minute.
mid-'70s.
Who was the lead? Who was their first lead singer?
I believe
Kane.
it was. No, Kane was not. No, Kane didn't join it until 1981 after Greg Rowley left. Greg Rowley.
Might have been Rowley then.
Yes, Greg Rowley. Him and Sean were members of Santana. You may remember Rowley was the guy who sang on the song
Wait.
Evil Ways for Santana.
Okay, so what songs? Is there any song like all the songs we hear on the radio? Is it any of those, or is it always Perry? The ones we hear.
Well, songs like
You get what I'm saying?
there were a couple of songs like Feeling That Way. What kind of
Yeah, I
feeling?
never heard of
Oh yeah, it's an old one there. It came out in 1979. I remember hearing it big. It was big on the radio at that time. It was Feeling That Way, Anytime That You Want Me. There's also there was another one called The Same Way You Love Me, which Perry
Now,
sings along. Yeah, those were
does
those.
it-
Go ahead.
Doesn't I don't think it's Neil Sean. Didn't the guitarist in Def Leppard play with Journey as well?
No.
Not the
No.
one with the what's his name? What's the other guitarist? The newer one.
Which one? Vivian Campbell?
Yes, Vivian
No,
Campbell.
he never
Isn't he in another band? Well,
No,
what
he-
other band is?
He was in two other bands. He was involved. He was in first. We first heard of him when he joined Dio back in the 80s.
Oh, that's
there.
it. That's it. All right, I was getting him and Neil Sean confused over there
Yeah.
a minute. All right.
Yes.
So back to the Journey. So this is a little tidbit about a couple months ago, maybe 4 months ago, 3 months ago. It was, and we covered this. This was big news.
Yeah.
But the news article basically was Neil Sean and Steve Perry are in talks, or like talking again, or
Yeah.
whatever. And it was basically about trademark and the business stuff. It wasn't about him joining the group again or nothing like that. It was about this type of stuff. And then look
Yeah.
what happens
Yeah.
months later. So they must have had a falling out because that was kind of like a big thing. Like, oh my God, those guys are talking again. And
Yeah, they do that all the
Um,
time. They do that. Remember when Pink Floyd got back together in that Live 8 performance in 2005? People were speculating
No.
maybe oh man, you gotta check it out. It's on YouTube. It's a top-notch performance. One of the last performances with that classic lineup, was for sure. And of course, people are speculating, maybe there should be a reunion tour. Oh, please let there be a reunion tour, but that unfortunately that never came about. People of course, people were expecting hopefully the Misfits were to get back together after their Riot Fest performance
Right.
when they got back together a couple of years ago there. Not so there. Danzig's still doing Danzig, and Jerry Only's doing his lineup with the Misfits, unfortunately. And Doyle, their guitarist, he's doing his thing. It was just that one offshoot performance, that's about it. But it is common for a band to get back together after a reunion show, like Skinny Puppy did back in 2000. After they did a reunion show in Dresden, Germany, then the Dutch Legends there decided, hey, let's do another Puppy record. And then they came out a couple years later
See?
with Greater Wrong or the Right, which is a pretty good record to check out.
Mm. Well, what? So during the show,
Hmm.
um, Thorogood came out,
Yep.
and him and Sammy did the duet of the song Gloria. Now, who originally sang Gloria? Because I remember that song.
Oh, yeah.
It's an old
Van,
Van
Mor-
Morrison
Van
Van
Morrison.
almost. Oh, okay.
No,
with
Van.
them.
Van Morrison and them. They were the ones who did it originally. Patti Smith group later did it in the 70s, and Jimi Hendrix had his awesome version. That should be played on the radio more often, believe it or not.
And believe it or not, that one has like, bro, I got like the most views on that. I got like 180 views on the Gloria thing, and then everything else is like 3 or 4 views, which is fine or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not tagging stuff correctly, but like, which I need to, but the Gloria song got like 180 views. I'm like, dang, because that was a special thing. Like, that was a special, you know what I'm saying? It was.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what do you think's going to happen? You think Neil Sean and them, they're going to.
I
do you
hope
think's going to
so.
happen?
I hope say to resolve things out there first and foremost there, because any chance of them getting back together, if you're going to get back together with your old bandmates, make sure you sit down and resolve whatever issues that led to the parting of ways get resolved first. Because too many bands get back together as, hey, the nostalgia, let's get the nostalgia back, but without settling the issues that broke them apart to begin with. When Black Sabbath got back together with Ronnie James Dio in 1990 there, first thing they did is that they sat down on the table and talked about every little thing that one had with the other. Everything that was bottled up inside had to be done right there at that meeting.
Really?
Instead of whatever, hey, I didn't, like for instance, like Tony, I didn't appreciate you to accusing me of
Tony
best-
Iommi.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Hey,
Make it
like Tony,
clear.
I didn't
Yeah.
like deal with say like, hey, I didn't appreciate you accusing me of tampering with the mixes for Live Evil back then. And Tony goes, I didn't appreciate you dogging our former singer,
Iommi.
blah blah blah. There, that's
Right.
that kind of stuff they had to do all that in order to get back together, because this way everything gets resolved where everybody's good with one another, instead of having everything bottled up inside and just imploding again, you know. And then
Yes.
the tour is fucked.
Well, there's going to be a Dio documentary coming
I
out
know,
very
yes.
soon.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
And I heard they're going to have it in some movie theaters.
Right.
Now, that's going to be a good one. So look out for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Nikki Sixx and what was it? The
Nikki Sixx, yeah.
Nikki Sixx News and what's
All right.
his name? I'm forgetting. Because I want to know about this guy because I think you mentioned him before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Andy McCoy.
No, I'm looking. Let's see.
All right, there.
Schneiderman. Jeff Tate's doing a tour.
Yep.
I sent you the fucking. Let me look.
Okay. Okay, there.
Man, I sent you it.
Was it YouTube or something else? Or no, those are the concert highlights there. Let me see.
No. Let's see.
All right.
Give me a second here. I'll because I was gonna go live, but I'm watching the game on the computer, and then once I got everything ready, everything froze up, and everything got screwed up. So,
Right there, I see there.
what I'm trying to get to here is the Phil Susan and Nikki Sixx beef. Now, who in the fuck is this Phil Susan guy?
Phil Sue. Let me see here.
Uh,
Phil Sue.
SOUSSAN.
Well, SOU.
SSAN.
Because I heard SOU.
You heard of this guy, right?
Sue. What's his name? Sue.
Susan.
Okay, what's his second name? How's that spelled?
His first name Phil Susan. So
Oh, Phil
Phil.
Susan. Oh, Phil Susan, the producer. I think his name is. Okay.
Oh, well, he's
Let me
beefing with Nikki Sixx.
okay, let me try this. Susan. All right. And it came out, okay, man, want to try suicide. Are you talking to me, man? I hate this. Okay, I'm going to try this again here. Phil Susan. And it came out Phil Susan. Ah, you fucking
Did you hear?
idiot.
Can you read the article?
Oh, yeah, you got to send me the article here because I don't have it. Put it in the Skype chat and I'll look for it right now.
All right.
Okay, because I know not many people's Nick. This is not the first time Nikki Sixx has beef with anybody. You remember he had that beef with Soleanor Godsmack.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, British
Yeah, I
bassist.
think-
There we go, British bassist. Yeah, he is a British bass player who gained notoriety as a member of the bands like including some that he had founded here. Blah 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 here. He's also played with Billy Idol, Vince Neil, Johnny Halliday, John Waite. He's a member of Beggars and Thieves. He also played in bands featuring Edgar Winter, Steve Lukather
So
of
basically,
Toter,
like,
and Jimmy
he's,
Page.
he's not on Nikki Sixx's level, basically.
Oh yeah, I know things.
He's
I don't know.
he's a jealous bassist of Nikki Sixx. So, did you get that article? I sent it to you.
Okay, let me see. Right. Is it in the chat right now?
I
Not yet.
sent it to your. I sent it to your Skype.
Okay, there. All right, let me check here. All right. Let me check here. I guess, so it's a bass playing war, I guess you would say there. Blah, blah, blah here. It would be coming up on the computer here, on the thing here. Okay,
Did you
let's
get-
see what we got. I'm checking it right now. Give me a
All
couple
right.
moments here, folks. All right, righty, right. Come on. I hate it when it does this. It takes its whole sweet time for that to come up on the screen here. Okay, what we saw here. Now, Phil Susan apologizes to Nikki Sixx for disparaging comment about Motley Crue's performance during that stadium tour there. So, let me look in here. Phil Susan, Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, it ended. I think it ended in Vegas a couple weeks ago
Okay,
or
there.
something.
Okay, I'm gonna look up on the New Music Express. Phil Susan, bassist, who played with Ozzy Osbourne, apologizes to Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue after criticizing the crew. Totally my bad, he said. Now, he was criticizing the crew's recent performance in Las Vegas. Now, Motley Crue wrapped up their 2020 North American Stadium tour in Vegas's Allegiant Stadium on September 9th, along with, of course, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett, the Blackhearts. Now, Susan, who played bass for Ozzy Osbourne, and currently performs at a group called The Last in Line, which is a Ronnie James Dio tribute, which Vivian Campbell contributes at that time, so along with drummer Vinny Appice, was among those in attendance at the final concert in Sin City. Taking to social media afterwards, the musicians shared a message and a series of images from the show. He said, quote, went to see these guys yesterday at El Giant Stadium, second row, front center, was pretty awesome. Poison were literally nothing but a good time. Bret Michaels and CC were terrific. Def Leppard, of course, were spectacular. He added, Motley Crue Not so much. Never seen a place empty out so fast after a few songs. Now, Motley Crue's Nicky Six responded to the dig at him in his Instagram post saying, "Thanks, Phil," alongside a middle finger emoji.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Susan has deleted the sentence about Motley Crue and personally apologized to Six. In a new interview, he explained that it was a great show. It was good. Where I was, the sound just wasn't that great. I was actually right in front, and I don't know why. What the fuck here? And it just went into something else.
God damn it, Brown.
I know it's not me. It's these websites that we go to. It just happens all the time. We get these things popping up in the middle there, bing, bam, boom, while you're trying to read the article, and it's like, yo, click on to find out what happened to Richard Simmons. Like, who gives a fuck about that fucking Fruit Loop? You know, give me a break. It happens all the time. And yes, it pisses me off, especially when we're doing the show where we're trying to read an article for everybody to listen to. And it's like, give me a fucking break. You know, this is the thing I hate. I got to get me some ad blocker for my phone sometime soon there.
Yes.
Right. But bottom line, crude comment was made about the crew, and Phil Susan apologized later on for it, you know, and I guess everything is good between the two again. All right. So let me get up the article here, and another one I want to read. Fucking hell. Blah blah here. Okay. Let me.
Ozzy never had a charting.
Well, I think I know his album sold pretty
You know
damn
what I'm
well. I
saying?
think I know is it. He never had a chart. He never had a number one album until now, basically. I mean, prior to that, the Ultimate Sin from '86 went up to the top 10, and that was the
Right.
first for him at that time. Blizzard Oz, when it came out in 1980, went up to number 15, 5 notches to reaching the top 10. Right. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna try this. Songs about cities, states, and countries.
Oh, have we gotten into the topic?
Let's get into the topic right now. I am all ready to go. And no, I'm not interested in. And no, I am not interested in Uber Eats. Thank you very much, Gmail. All right, I'll let you. How are we doing this? So let's do it like we did it before. Ark first, YR next, and me last. Okay. All right. I got to get me something. Something to give me a little something to drink there, and I'll be right back.
Yes.
Okay. First song I got, a little ditty by the Standells called Dirty Water.
We're gonna go
Song
ahead
about
and
Boston.
we're gonna go ahead and do. How about Bob Seger, Kathmandu?
On my list.
This is gonna be a good. There's tons of songs
Oh, I've got 2 pages worth here.
from multiple genres. I mean, look, you can just take like rap, hip hop. There's going to be a lot of songs about New York. There's going to be a lot of songs about L.A. Right? Older ones too. There's older. But it's that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Country songs. Be a little some Tennessees and some Texas shout outs with country songs and maybe some Southern states. I'm gonna look that up too. There is actually. There's a lot of country songs with Texas cities as titles.
Yep.
As well. Texas cities, because we are. I mean, Tennessee is. I mean, I've been to Tennessee when I was little, but Texas is pretty country. It's pretty damn.
Yeah.
It's the West. It's Western. Dr. Brown's taking a shit right now, folks. Nice rock and roll hard
Do
stool.
we want to go ahead and I'll do another one real quick?
Dr. Brown is taking a hard rock stool. Go ahead.
It's Earl's Apparently went to the next apartment by the refrigerator.
I gotta hit him with that. Dr. Brown, you're taking a hard rock stool.
You there?
Hello? Hello?
Am I the only one here?
Hello?
Did we lose YR too?
No, I'm here.
I'm
Can you
it.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, okay. I'll do a second song since I've lost both
Yo,
of them
can you-
apparently.
Yo, can you hear me?
Or they lost me. I don't know which.
Uh-oh. Shit.
All right.
I'm going to do Allentown
Brown.
by Billy
Yeah,
Joel.
yeah. All right.
Brown, you can hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear,
All right.
dude.
All right, Ark, I don't think Ark can hear us.
And
See?
Mark, can you hear us, Ark?
am I still active?
Yes, you are. We can hear you. What the fuck is going on there? Bit of
See, me-
Skypes. Bit
Me
of
and Brown
Skype.
can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ark. Can you hear us? Give us a yes or no if you can hear us, Ark.
I can barely hear you guys.
What? the
What?
fuck? Are you serious? What the fuck is going on here?
Well, Brown, it's not your thing. It's
I know
Ark's.
it's not. I know it's not. I don't know. Pit of Skype strikes
I mean,
again,
I could
people.
hear both of you guys fine a minute ago. Now all of a sudden I can't.
I don't know what the fuck happened. All right.
Drop the call and come back in.
So what? I'll get rid of Ark and I'll re-add Ark. Okay, dude? Okay, one.
Whatever you just said.
Okay, okay,
fuck?
gotcha. Okay, removing the call and then boom. I will add him once more. Okay. And we'll see how it happens again there. All right, there.
Okay,
There you-
we added me back.
Yes, we have. Can you hear us well?
I still can't hear you well.
Gosh.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you guys
Yes.
pretty well.
Yes,
All right, there.
we do hear you.
Loud and clear, dude. What the fuck is going on
That's
here,
kind of
man?
weird because
God
everything
damn
was
it,
fine
Dr.
5
Brown.
minutes
It
ago.
wasn't me. Probably Ark's, man. Probably Ark's set up here. I don't know what it is.
I didn't change a thing.
I know.
Can
Let
you
me-
can you
Okay,
change
the
the
first song I
settings?
mentioned was Dirty Water, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Brown.
Yeah, I know. Boston,
Ark.
you know, my home.
Or can you change the
Yeah.
settings so you can?
And then I just mentioned Allentown by Billy Joel.
Yeah. All
Or
right.
can you change the settings to where you hear it through a speaker? Maybe you hear us through a speaker, or
Yeah. We have to do it the old-fashioned way. Can you change the settings so you can hear us through a speaker? Probably have to do that again. So I'll remove him again, and then I'll remove him again. Here we go. I'll remove him again, and now I'll re-add him and see what happens here. Sure. See what happens this time here. All right, Art, get back. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
goodness
you.
for that.
Can't hear
Yeah,
crap
finally.
for some reason.
All right, there. I think we show you and I, Ark, and Falmouth Ken, and everybody else who had this issue, get a hold of the guy who invented Skype and beat him one there. All right, there. All right, so I had to get someone here. Whose turn is it? Mine, or
Well, I've done two. I hope you guys heard both of them.
oh,
yeah?
had
And then
to-
I did Kathmandu by Seeger. Now it's
Yeah,
your
sure.
turn.
Okay. We know here's one here. This one's from Jimmy Buffett, where he mentioned Margaritaville. We'll have Jamaica Mustankia.
Yes.
That's how it's pronounced. by
Have you ever
Jimmy
heard of that
Buffett.
song?
No, I haven't, but I know
Okay,
it's
so
about
it's
Jamaica.
about no, it's not about Jamaica. It's about kind of.
All right.
It's called Jamaica Mistake. It came out in the 90s. And I think 94, 95, 96, something like that.
All right.
And it's a true story. Jimmy Buffett was in a plane, like a small plane in Jamaica, and the authorities in Jamaica thought that he was smuggling weed, and they shot the plane, and
Wow.
but there wasn't nothing. They didn't have anything.
Wow.
They were just like, they weren't there for that, you know.
Oh,
and so that's
man.
what it's a Jamaica mistake. It was like their mistake.
Wow, wow.
You know what I'm
Here's
saying? It's
another
a
one.
really good song. Really good song.
Wow. You know what? Here's something else. Kind of reminds me of what happened to Gary Newman years back there. As you know, apart from being a musician and a singer that releasing albums here and there, he's also a certified pilot. He was flying. He was flying over India, where apparently he was attacked, and they brought him and shot him down. Thinking apparently what it was is that his plane kind of tampered up. He had to make an emergency landing in India, and apparently they thought he was a British spy, so they arrested him and found out who he really was and let him go there.
Wow.
All right. I guess it's Arky's turn here. All right.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear us? Don't tell me.
Barely.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
not
Come
again,
on.
man. What the fuck? Don't tell me we're going through that bullshit again there. All right.
Unbelievable.
Okay, can you try this again? All right. I don't know why I did. I'm trying to click on
Okay,
something there.
my third one is San Francisco. Be sure to wear flowers in your hair.
By Scott McKenzie.
Right.
That's right. Okay.
All right. Fuck my head up, Brown. Um.
That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
All right. Return
How
wire.
about how about "Buried in Detroit" by Mike Posner? Ever heard of that one?
Buried in Detroit.
Can
Yeah.
you guys turn up a little bit? I can not hear either one
It's
of you.
not us.
It's not us, man. We're loud as we can hear each other fine.
I think you could turn us up, turn us on. I mean, turn us.
Turn on, oh, dude.
Well, let me see what my controls look like.
Maybe it changed automatically. I know when you update your computer at times in the past, it has been known to do that. All right. Okay.
Dr. Brown, did you take a hard rock shit?
No.
A hard rock
I did.
stool?
None. I didn't take any stools at all.
You like that hard rock stool, right?
Not really.
Nah.
Well, whatever it is. I gotta
Come
do
on.
when you take a stool, you gotta do a stool no matter what. There. And what can I ask? What is this thing about asking everybody? Did you take a hard or soft shit today? What is up with that?
Dr. Brown, it's a meme thing. It's like a comedy thing.
Oh
You know what
gosh.
I'm saying? Come on, man.
That's a new one. That's about as a lot. I guess that's a new challenge. Let's see them. I'll bet you right now, all the TikTokers are going to start doing that. I'll bet you.
Asking people about their shits?
Yeah. Did you take one before you got in the car, son? Oh, not really. I cannot take a shit. I just took one a while ago there. Okay. So your turn, YR, I guess.
No, it's on you.
Okay, there. All right. This one is by Rufus Wainwright. The song is called Memphis Skyline.
Mm.
All right. All right.
Okay, I'm guessing it's my turn because I can't hear you guys.
All right, there.
San Franciscan Nights by Eric Burning and the Animals.
Good song for there. All right. All right. I guess let's see here.
What about London Calling by The
You mean the
Clash.
Clash? Classic,
Yes.
classic,
You know that
classic.
one?
Yeah, we all. I remember when the
Ah.
album came out. Train of Maine is on that record as well. The one called "Stand by Me." Dun, dun, dun. Say you stand by your man. Never heard that song, YR?
No.
Oh, look it up, dude. In fact,
With the Clash like the originators of punk?
well, Clash were like considered the supreme punk band. You know, people
Dang.
say that the Sex Pistols were a good band, the Ramones were a good band, the Damned were a good band, but the Clash was a great band.
Wow.
That's what many people remember. They were many critics and the fans would call them the only band that matters. That was their tagline for many years. And we, of course, we get the songs like "Rock the Casbah," "Should I Stay or Should I Go," the two we just mentioned, as well as "Straight to Hell," "Clamp Down," "White Riot." Right? And so it's my turn now. Here's one by Bruce Springsteen, "Jersey Girl." Of course, talking about the girls in New Jersey.
I think it's my turn.
Yes.
It is, dude.
Okay. Fever Tree, San Francisco Girls, Return of the Native.
Ah, there you go. And I guess "Return to Native" is in parentheses, if I'm correct.
Say that again.
I guess "Turn of the Native" is in parentheses.
Right.
Ah, yes. I can hear us a little bit there, just a little bit there. Okay.
How about a little from 1978, Ace Frehley, New York Groove.
Oh, nice. There you go. From Kiss. There you go.
All right, Dr. Brown.
Okay, this one is by the group Train. It's called "Save Me, San Francisco."
Mm.
Yeah.
You were ever a big Train guy, or?
No. No, I couldn't stand the music there. I thought it was one of those nappy songs that are like in the lines of the VH1 crowd there. The soft rock stuff.
Yes.
If I'm going to listen to soft rock, it's going to be from the 70s because a lot of that stuff had a lot more in depth and more meaning. Like, I'll take Al Stewart over Train anytime.
Okay,
Right.
next one I got Eric Burden and the Animals. They did a song called Monterey, which was actually about the Pop Festival in Monterey.
Ah, Monterey, Switzerland. Well, no, no, that's Montreux. My bad. All these names.
It was Monterey, California.
That's right. Ah, that's right. Monterey Pop, where Jimmy and the
Yes.
Who made their names
Right.
and well known. All right. All right. Give it a while there. All right.
Who's
My
up?
turn.
I think it's your turn. Yeah,
How about a
Wire.
little George Strait. All my exes live in Texas.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I remember that was a big hit back then for him. Okay, and my next one is by the British pop group Bastille.
Mm.
The song is called Pompeii, where Pink Floyd did that Live at Pompeii movie at.
Okay, my next one is Tom Jones. He did a song called Detroit City,
Nice.
talking about how everything was okay in Detroit City, but he wanted to go home.
Oh, yeah. I see there. A lot of respect to Detroit here.
Thank you.
Hmm.
From 1997. This is Dr. Brown's favorite rapper,
Oh.
Will Smith.
Oh, gosh.
Will Smith.
Oh, gosh.
And he came out with a song called Miami.
I remember that one.
You
Yeah.
like that one?
Yeah, never. Hell no.
You know, I thought you were Will Smith
I
fan.
never was a Will Smith guy. Never was. Never will be.
I remember that song. It
Slap.
was
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. All right, there. And my one is, speaking to Detroit, a song called Detroit, Michigan by Kid Rock. There you go.
Okay, my next one is Dean Martin, Houston.
Ah.
mm.
Of course, praising the big H town.
How about
Going back to Houston,
Yeah.
Houston, Houston.
well this one? I'm gonna throw it out there. It's not a city name, but it's definitely about a city.
Yep.
Remember that song, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow?
Yes.
Um, Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy who sang that song. All right. All right. All right. And my turn is, of course, song called Midnight Train to Memphis by Chris Stapleton.
Okay, my next one's by a group called Diesel, One Hit Wonder, Sausalito Summer Night.
Mm.
All right.
How about a little B-52 action, Private Idaho?
I remember that one. That came out in 1980 there.
Dr. Brian is a B-50, big B-52s guy, right?
Yeah, they wish. At that time, I was listening to, still hung up on Pink Floyd's The Wall, and I was also getting to, of course, Back in Black. That was one great. I would hear. I've mentioned this before. I used to, when my sister was out on with her buddies, I would sneak her to her room, take her copy, a vinyl copy of Back in Black, and listen to that album in pitch black in my room. You know,
Mm.
yeah. So and that and the
Really?
story. Yes, I did. Yeah. I just
That's pretty
imagine
cool.
myself on stage. Imagine whichever. I was coming up with my own little music videos in my head there with each song of that record there.
Right.
Yeah. Which is, of course, she found out about it and repaid me by us when I wasn't at the house, sneaking my copy of The Wall by Pink Floyd and listening to that. You know, we were talking about that one time while we were both were driving. That's like I used to do sneak your ACDC. Yeah, I used to sneak your Pink Floyd. Could you blame us? Nope.
The actual record, though?
The actual records, the original pressings.
So, like, back then when you had the record player, when you bought a record player, did you have to get speakers as well
No,
with that?
well, mostly I know she had speakers attached to her record player. All record players have to have it, except the ones that opened up.
What do you mean? Well, I know the ones nowadays, the speakers are built in, but like back then you had to get separate speakers, right? Like
Yeah.
woofers and shit.
Well,
And
a couple of them had to back then. A few of them had to. Others had speakers attached to them. I know my record player that I had for many years at that time. Had to have speakers plugged into them. I guess there's some record players out there that still have them. Nowadays we have record players at the nearby Walmart where you just open up and the speakers already with the record player. I used to own a copy of that. Plus, a lot of man. I had tons of records, man. I can't believe that, man.
yeah,
Yeah. And but that was the story behind those two records that we used to sneak behind each other's back, and listen to. And like I said, when said, well, could you blame me for listening to that record? How awesome it was? Nope. Okay, so I guess it's my turn here. If I'm correct. This one's a pretty interesting one. It's by Bruce Springsteen. It was featured in the movie Philadelphia that starred Tom Hanks, Jason Robards, and I guess Denzel Washington as well. It's a song called Streets of Philadelphia. And it's a man who's suffering from AIDS, as you could tell by the lyrics. And if you watch the video, has Springsteen walking around the streets of LA there, actually singing, no lip syncing there at all. He's actually singing the words as he's walking around, which is way interesting. A video first. A video, we're pretty good, and it's a pretty good song there when you look at it, just given the description I just given about the track. All right? So there's my pick from the boss.
All right, Arknolia, it's your turn.
All right. Ark, can you hear us? Yeah, don't tell me you lost communication with him again. I think he's having Skype issues.
Come on, man.
And he left, and I guess he's going to rejoin. He left a call there. I don't know what it was. I'll get a couple of seconds. I'll get him back on the call there. And give me a try and get him back on the phone. All right. Give it a couple of minutes. Blah, blah, blah. All right. All right. Give it a couple of minutes, folks. In the meantime, okay, so how's everything going, YR? How's the concert going?
Thank you. Good. It's a slow game. 1-0, 6 inning.
Right, and the Astros are versus who again?
Tampa Bay.
Ah, yeah. All right, which is in Florida. There you are, Ark.
Hey,
can you hear
let's
us?
try with this time.
What's up?
I'm trying it on my phone this time.
That's good. So but you can hear us loud and clear, dude?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I know. I had to do the same freaking thing a couple of times when my Skype effed up on me. I know. This is why Ken always talks about the old pit of Skypes on almost every one of his episodes of Foul Mouse Network.
I guess I'm up.
Yeah, I know. I guess so, yeah.
Deep Purple Woman from Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. Great song from him, yeah. All right.
How about a little the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, Weird Al Yankovic.
Ah, I see. Is that an actual song?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, wow. I guess who's going to call up and start complaining about that, I think.
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Okay, and my next one is a classic from the BC Boys, No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Okay, my next one is by Strawberry Alarm Clock, Barefoot in Baltimore.
Ah. Okay.
Neither one of you have ever heard the song.
I don't think I have. All we know is incense and peppermints, and that's about it there. All right.
Okay, what about a little? How about we do a little Georgia Rain by Trisha Yearwood?
Who we know is
she used to date. She used to either marry or date Garth Brooks, I believe.
I think they're still married, if I'm correct.
Oh.
Right there. And my next one is by the group LMFAO, which they remember had those party rock anthems back in the early 2000s. This one's called I'm in Miami, Trick.
Well, not the early 2000s, more of like 2010, maybe '09,
Yes,
'08,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes,
stuff like that. Yeah.
that kind of shit was two guys with afros and nerdy glasses. I guess the uncle and the nephew was
Because
behind
there was
that
still some
project.
there is music, the early 2000s music that was still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was. Okay, so Dr.
Yeah.
Arknolia, brother.
Okay. The Beach Boys, California Girls.
Oh yeah, we know that one, which David Lee Roth did a good, interesting cover of there back in 90, no, 85. I meant to say.
Yeah, I remember the video.
Yep.
Very nicely done.
And, all right.
How about California Is It Big Enough? Meatloaf.
Ah. Rest in peace, Meat. We miss you. And my next one is the theme song from the TV show the same name, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air by DJ Jazzy Jeff and The Fresh Prince.
Okay, my next one is by Chicago. Take Me Back to Chicago.
All right.
By the time I get to Arizona, Public Enemy.
Oh well, yeah. We're talking about Evan, that politician who didn't want to recognize Martin Luther King's birthday there, making it a national holiday. A lot of black activists were calling him out for that. And I guess he said something about young black kids up there that were not too cool either. It gave him just a specific name, which I don't remember, but it was just not cool, man. Right? And my next one is one that was featured in many times, and I forgot it's been done many times by a whole bunch of people, including Madonna, Olivia Newton-John. "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina."
Okay. My next one is Jan and Dean, the little old lady from Pasadena.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
How many jokes have been made about that little you drive like a little old lady from Pasadena? That was a big joke back then, I guess. Talking about how
Yeah.
someone drives, how they terribly drive.
Okay, how about a little Louisiana Rain? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
All right. Okay. Now this one's by Billy Joe. It's called Vienna.
Mm.
I don't know which album it's from there, but it was on the
The,
list
str-
that I have here.
the Stranger.
Ah, yeah, from the one with the title cut on it, and of course, Just the Way You Are, included on that red disc there.
Tie game, seventh inning.
Nice.
Been a slow game, Mark.
Okay. My next one is done by a variety of artists. I don't know who the last one was, but it was from the 40s. A song called Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Ah,
Like the one that people sing.
Yeah. You know,
They only
clap, clap,
came.
Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Yeah, it came out in the 40s.
40s to
Interesting.
50s, that range.
Stars and night, big
Right.
and bright. You know that song, Brown? Or?
I've heard the phrase many times in other song lyrics there. Deep in the heart of Texas, a couple of times in previous past references.
Thank you.
Actually, I think Perry Como did it in the 50s, but I could be wrong.
Ah.
How about a little Bee Gees, Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
A little further down on my list, but I had it.
Yeah. An old one from the 60s there. Okay. This one's by the group Coldplay, Amsterdam.
Okay, my next one is by Roger Miller, England Swings.
All right. Nice. Talk about the swinging times in England, if I'm correct.
Bobby's on bicycle 2x2. Westminster Abbey, the Tower of Big Ben.
Mm.
The rosy red cheeks of the little children.
All right.
Pretty big song for him. I think I killed YR.
Right.
James Taylor. James Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
On my mind.
Carolina in my mind. Thank you.
Me and George are
This
on
is
my
num-
mind.
No, it's Carolina on my mind.
Hmm.
In my mind.
Let me look it up here.
Look at that.
Okay, there. I may be wrong here. Ding can come in. Oh, anyways, this one is by a group we may have heard of called the Dropkick Murphys. It's called "I'm Shipping Up to Boston."
Okay, another Roger Miller song. Kansas City Star. That's what I are.
Ah,
Yodelee, you ought to see my car. Drive a big old Cadillac with wide wheels. Got rhinestones on the spokes.
right.
Massachusetts by Aaron Lewis. Sustained.
Ah,
Solo.
I see there. And my next one is by Frank Zappa. It's one of his bigger songs there. Montana. I had the album that it came on. Overnight Sensation. Great album to check out. It's what he's talking about
Also got,
raising me a crop of dental floss.
it's also got my Dynamo Hum on it.
Yep, it's a great one there. It was where he's one of the first rappers when you think about Courtney to Keith.
Okay, my next one is Harry and the Pacemakers. Ferry Cross the Mersey.
Ah, which is in England there.
I think I've heard that song.
I have as well there.
It is probably his biggest one.
Yeah. Most notable one.
Lucy, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Louisiana Woman, Mississippi Man.
Mm.
You know, you heard of that one? Because that one used to be on. That one used to be.
Despite being a rock guy, a lot of country songs.
Yeah.
They used to be a song in Grand Theft Auto, the video game. I forget which one though. 4 maybe. But they used to have that song on there. All right, Dr. Brown, go ahead.
Okay, this one is by the late great Billie Holiday, the subject of the movie Lady Sings the Blues that starred Diana Ross in the title role. This one is called Autumn in New York. There you go.
Okay, now this is one you guys, I think you've heard. Woodstock, Crosby, Stills, Nash,
Yep,
and Young.
that's right. It's about written by Joni Mitchell.
Yep.
Yep.
Which a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, well, I found out about years back a couple of times after hearing this song. I remember when I was played on radio stations there a few times.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard the Joni Mitchell version, but it's quite good.
No, I haven't. To be honest with you, to come to think of it, I probably should check it out there. All right.
A little, oh, you already did that one, Wichita Lineman.
Yeah, last week, but it's a good one.
What about a little El Paso by Marty Robbins?
Marty Robbins
Mm.
did that last week too, but that's okay.
Yep.
What about a little Stars in Alabama, Janie Johnson?
Mm.
You're just gonna keep naming them, huh?
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, this one it has the same title as the one I mentioned before. This song is also called Montana, but this one's by Justin Timberlake.
Mm.
What a difference.
Very different. Now, if it's a cover, I'll be really flipped out, but I don't think anybody. I don't think it is. Sometimes sometimes it's okay to have songs that have the same title in there.
Dr. Brown loves Justin Timberlake band.
Oh, please, dude.
Okay, the next one's Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young.
Hmm.
Ohio. Four Dead in Ohio.
Oh yeah, that was the one. That was about what happened at Kent State, Ohio, in 1970.
Yep.
And in fact, I guess that's when really the young kids out there really turned against the Nixon administration, after that
Mm-hmm.
incident there. And I know here's something else. Chrissy Hyde, the Pretenders, she was illicit in Kent State during when that whole thing went down. She soon left after that happened, and it must have definitely did something to her. I guess because years on, when we were about to get into the Second Gulf War, she made a comment saying, "I hope those American soldiers get their asses kicked there when they go to Iraq." Blah blah blah. It's like, now I was like, I was shocked that she would say that, but so I was reminded about what happened, what she saw in Kent State. So obviously she probably presumed that possibly the American military turned on us, so they deserve to have their asses kicked there. I mean, like, if I was 19 years old and I would see four uniformed office or four uniformed military men shoot at our seniority brothers and sisters, I'm going to be fucked up in the head. That's going to fuck my head up for many years, you know?
Yep.
So obviously that's what presumed her to probably say that comment there. And of course that's what led a lot of young kids at that time to seek the liberal side, the Democrat side there, thinking that, the Republicans doesn't want to listen to us, and plus Richard Nixon doesn't give a rat's ass, blah, blah, blah. All right. All right.
Me?
No, I think it's YR's.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oklahoma Sky, Miranda Lambert.
All right, there.
Dr. Brown's a big Miranda Lambert fan.
Well,
Right,
oh
Dr. Brown?
gosh. I admire her body, that's for sure there. You gotta give it up some of these country female artists. They do have some good body frames, I will say there.
Would you like a microwave her body, or?
Mike, oh gosh. Okay, so it's my turn. This one is called Tokyo by a group called the Wombats. Now, I don't know much about them. I just saw them on the list here.
Venus Flytrap.
Okay.
Dr.
And
Brown.
I will state that I've heard every song they've mentioned.
Really?
All right.
Yep.
All right, there.
Okay, next one. Saying that because this next one, you guys are going to go, what?
Fuck.
Alaska, UK.
Oh, wow. And UK was the band that featured John Wetton and Carl Palmer and Eddie Job.
Right.
Yep. That trio there, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, see
Quite
there.
a nice slow song.
All right, there. Of course, rest in peace to John Wetton as well there. He used to sing and play bass with King Crimson, as well as his band, Asia.
Mr. YR.
2-1. Tampa Bay just hit a homer.
Nice.
No,
not
it's
nice.
not nice.
Right. I was looking at something else here. I was looking at this.
How about
Somebody sent me a chick on Twitter. It says chick to look out. Paige Van Zandt, the former UFC star. She's in this hot ass bikini. I'm looking at that. It's like, wow, yeah.
Come on, man.
All right, there.
How about New York State of Mind by Nas, 1994.
Okay. All right. And this one I have is a song called Barcelona by Ed Sheeran.
Well, my next one on my list was Kathmandu, but not anymore.
Oh yeah, because YR did that earlier.
Kokomo, the Beach Boys.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that was a big hit.
Bermuda.
So, let's go ahead and do little South Bronx Boogie Down Productions.
Hmm.
It's a
Nice.
good one.
Bronx, New York. Right. And this one is by an artist named George Ezra called Budapest. That's the name of the song here on the list.
Okay, next one's mainly the title that's in city. An old Bee Gees song by the name of New York Mining Disaster 1941.
Wow. Or maybe you told me about that one many episodes ago there.
It's pretty much one of their first singles.
Right.
Dr. Brown?
Yes. Now I think it's your turn.
It's your turn.
Yeah, we do a little, let's see. How about, uh,
Mm.
Beverly Hills, Weezer?
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, that's it. I remember that was a big hit on the radio
Remember
there.
that one?
Yes, I remember. With the talk box guitar solo there.
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
Gimme, gimme, gimme,
Gimme,
gimme.
gimme.
Yep. Uh, yep. You know, and the singer, you know what? I just don't belong. Me, I'd be like, huh, who wanna belong? Okay, and my next one is by Robert Plant from his first solo record, Pictures at 11. Great album, worth checking out. First song on side 2, Worse Than Detroit. And it's one of those songs that doesn't mention Detroit, but talks about some guy trying to get through to his lover, but doesn't have Detroit mentioned in the lyrics there. Of course, Zeppelin has been known to do that a few times with their songs like Ozone Baby, Trampled Underfoot.
Okay, my next one is a Bob Seger tune, I Can Tina Turner also.
Mm-hmm.
Nutbush City Limits.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Dr. Brown, how about we do Passage to Bangkok by Rush?
Ah, that's a good one there.
Yeah.
All right. And then this one, next one also mentions Houston, Texas. The song Houston by REM.
Really?
Yeah, they have this on the list here. They have a song called Houston. Yep.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one's a Beatles tune. Penny Lane.
Oh, yeah. Named after the spot in England there. Along
Right.
with Strawberry Fields.
Thanks for taking my next one.
My bad. It's okay. Okay. All right. YR's turn.
How about we do a little, um, well, how about we do a little, just add it to, damn it. It's a good one, guys. You ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1. I lost my fucking shit. Skip me.
What the
Skip me.
fuck?
I
What
lost it.
the fuck? Jeez.
Bro, I just had my list and I can't find it now.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'll throw this one then.
Okay.
And did we do this one? The Monkeys, Last Train to Clarksville?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, he mentioned it last week.
All right, there.
And
Oh
Richard
wow.
Pryor mentioned it last week.
I believe so. Yeah,
How
the
about-
last episode
how-
there.
Galveston, Glen Campbell?
Yeah, I wouldn't mention that last week too, but that's cool.
All right.
Doesn't hurt to mention it again.
All right.
Go ahead, Brown.
Okay, this one's also called. This one's simply called Philadelphia by Neil Young.
Okay. I don't. I think there's been several artists that have done it, but it's about good old
Mm.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Didn't know there was a place called Rocky Top located there. But then again, I never been to Tennessee, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard country song.
All right, there.
And yes, I've heard it.
Nice. All right. Now, go ahead, YR.
Um, Night Boat Cario, Madness.
The ska group. Are they still together, by the way?
I don't know. I have to look at. You know that one?
No, I don't
No.
really know that, but I remember other songs other than Our House, which is what they always play on the radio. Just that one song, but
Our
what?
house is a very, very, very fine house. Our house.
No, that's
Sorry.
the Graham Nash version there, but that's Graham Nash. Well, not necessarily the version, but Our House in the middle of our street, Our House. But they're forgetting, One Step Beyond, Cardiac Arrest, and other tunes by that group. But then again,
Yeah.
that's how mainstream people are. They just focus on the main one, the big hit song. Yup, 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 yup. You know. Okay. All right. All right, and let's see here.
Like a brother.
Okay, let's see what we got. I'm running out of spot. I'm guessing I'm coming near to the end of the list here. This one's called Malibu, named after, of course, Malibu, California, by Miley Cyrus.
Okay. Won't you please come to Chicago? Graham Nash.
Nice.
Now, this group used to be called a different name. They changed it, and they're really not as. I mean, obviously, they're not as. Every group has their certain fan base that'll come to their shows, but they're not as big as. Or they didn't go as long as they should have been. They quit early when they were in their prime, and that group is the Dixie Chicks, which are now called the Chicks.
Yep.
Lubbock or Leave It.
Oh.
It's the song.
Lubbock, Texas. That's what they're talking
Yes.
about. So when did they decided to shorten the name?
A couple years ago, because Dixie is like Southern land, and they're
didn't want
huge.
to.
They've always been huge liberals, the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, I know
They've always
that. I remember what
spoke
that.
against hating on George W. Bush back in the day when that was
They
like
got in a lot of trouble for that. There was this one country station that just formed
that was
back in
crazy,
Michigan.
huh? Look how things. I mean, that was probably early 2000s.
It
but
was, yeah.
Imagine. Look how things are different from like people were offended that they were calling out Bush, but now look at how people call out Trump. Where like whatever, like people got offended. Like people were like, it's the opposite. It's like back then it was kind of like you can't. I mean, yeah, you can talk politics and stuff, but like it was people didn't really do that in a way. I don't know, like people didn't like. You didn't go to a Kiss show and hear him shitting on George W. Bush, really, did you? Like,
never did.
I mean, it was kind of like people, they didn't do that, but people, they don't understand that when you do that, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, whether it's music, concerts, you're alienating and you're turning off half of your fan base because it's kind of half and half. Like, there's your Republicans, there's your Democrats. I mean, there's maybe more than others, but overall, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your balance. But when you talk about that stuff, it's gonna turn off your other half of your. You know what I'm saying? That's
I
that's
know,
what happened
yeah.
with them. It's happened with Dixie Chicks, bro. They started shitting on George W. And you know what I'm saying? Most country people are not Democrat. I mean, aren't of that liberal mindset. Because there was a lot of people that voted for John F. Kennedy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Like the older Democrats, but like it was a big thing that they did, bro, and they ended up they had a couple good albums. Remember that song they did about Earl?
Yeah,
Like
Goodbye Earl, about an abusive boyfriend or husband there.
so that was that was probably like 10 or something, 10 or 11 when Dixie Chicks were doing the thing, but like they fell off. I guess the lead singer, I guess they took time and they all became mothers type thing or something like that. And but they do stuff now, but I think they had to end a concert early because one of their voices was fucked or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
wide open spaces, time to make a big mistake. All right, go ahead,
You know,
Madam Brown.
well, I remember that there was a new country station that was forming around that time when that controversy hit. And first, they took a big poll before they decided, should we play the Dixie Chicks on our station? Millions of people voted no because of that, because a country artist, country band is about being proud to be American. I work
Yeah,
hard and stuff that there. In fact, comments like that were not really considered cool or around in that genre there. You know. Now I understand. I guess I don't know if it's true, but I understand Toby Keith, the man who wrote those songs, like did that one with Willie Nelson. The one about I love this bar.
yes,
He had this song. About the Statue of Liberty's shaking her fist. He's considered a Democrat, but yet he wrote one of the most powerful pro-American songs out there after the 9/11 attacks. I think it was called Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue there. That was played a lot on country music stations there after that incident there. Still probably gets played today every 4th of July or 9/11 there, no doubt about that. And and I guess the reason why people really pissed off because it went against the stats of the let's teach these foreign countries a lesson, because they burn our flag, they kidnap our citizens, they talk smack about us.
yeah,
Yep, I guess it's related to the game there, by the way.
2-2.
Nice. So it's even. But, but let me put this perspective, put this on the other side here. I guess lots of people around the 2000s, early 2000s, around 2008 when Bush Jr. was in office, they were hearing in the news reports of this group of people dying, this American troops dying overseas during the Second Gulf War, and he got the idea, that all Republicans are about, you know, starting wars for profits, not caring what the young
Man.
people has to say, and that's what turned them towards the liberal side. So I mentioned this to my sister,
Woo!
and I mentioned this
Woo!
and I mentioned this to my sister there when during the
Raining
conversation.
in the points now.
All right, the ball game is referring to. I guess what it is that they were not looking at Trump as Donald Trump. They were looking at Trump as Bush 45 because of that perspective that I just mentioned there. So I guess that takes a lot. That's probably a reason. You got to remember, I mentioned this again a couple episodes ago there when a couple a
Yeah.
lot of the other kids, the people today, when they're adults, were kids throughout the 1990s, and they absorbed a lot of the liberal values that was being handed out during that period of time, like acceptance of LGBT people, acceptance of other religions like Wicca, Buddhism and stuff
Wiccan.
like that. Yep. That's what, and so they got, and of course, Republicans have been like, worship God, the family and stuff, but it's hard to worship be loyal to family when your family's not loyal to you, when there's not much of a family, when the husband or the father leaves because he couldn't handle raising kids on. So
Well,
it's a very it's very
I can say that all of us on this call we do support George W.
yeah. Well, I will say, he was a good president, but the problem was,
Dang, that's crazy. They really got stingrays in a tank at that ballpark. Go
Wow,
ahead.
interesting. That's something there.
All
Hey,
right, so move it. Is it my turn on the list?
no, mine.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
Classic one there.
Okay, how about damn it. I've said all these already.
All right.
How about the only living boy in New York, Paul Simon?
Mm.
Yep.
Now they were they were big. That music going back early 70s, I
No,
would say, or
actually 60s. That's when the folk explosion
really?
started with the Bob Dylan, Simon and
Yeah,
Garfunkel.
folk, yeah.
Yes.
I think
That's
Sound of
interesting.
Silence came out in 66.
All right.
Would you trade to go back to those times with the cell phones and stuff? Would you trade the cell phones, TVs, computers to go back to
We
your
had,
simpler times, basically is what I'm saying?
okay, because I was going to say we had TVs. We didn't have computers.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Eh,
talking about these big ass TVs that it's like you're there with the clarity. Like, would you trade the what do you call it, technology of today, or would you want to go back to simpler times where there was no cell phones and you had to mail letters and stuff? What do you like better,
Well,
today's technology or the simpler?
vision, because well, honestly, I liked the music then a lot better.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was true. I'd say so there. But, but however, we will not be able to check out all these other movies on all these other channels like Hulu, Movies
right.
24, and stuff like that. Back then, they had to go to the theaters, pay a bunch amount of money, and such
Well,
and
not a
such
lot.
here. And plus, in this terms of the TV, we only had the basic channels like Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, the basic stuff there, the PBS, which was a now they call what they call national public, television there. Public television, that's what it's called there.
PBS.
PBS, yeah,
We had
absolutely.
ABC, CBS, ABC. We didn't even have Fox then.
Yeah, no, exactly. And but we also had, I forgot, we would check out other channels on which one was it, the VHF or the UHF there.
Yeah, they
But
were into. Yeah,
it was always a treat to see what's going on in the other states and other countries there. Like there was this one out of Canada we used to watch. I remember I forgot what station it was, but I think may have been the VHL or VHF, UHF there. It's been so long, man. So I'm trying to concentrate which was which there. But there was this
CST.
show, but there was this animated show series called "Wait Till Your Father Gets Home" that had Tom Bosley from Happy Days as the voice of the lead character, the father, and it was a pretty good series there. When you if you ever get a chance to check out, I hope they have all those old episodes on here on YouTube so I could check them out there. But those are one of the shows we would watch. Others would be like a British programs.
Monty Python.
Yeah, that was definitely on the PBS. That's for shizzle, along with the Goodies, Doctor in the House. Especially love the Goodies. That's for sure there. And I remember there was this one wrestling program on that one of those little independent indie stations there. If they were, that's what they called. And one of the programs I remember watching had this obnoxious talking guy and that obnoxious speaking wrestler would there turn out to join the WWF, Roddy Piper, who became one of the big reasons why I would watch wrestling. Actually, let me rephrase it, started watching wrestling right in the early 80s there.
Right.
Yeah. And for the records on phones, like we had the phones we used to have was the kind of where you picked up the thing there and dial it by hand. That was like you tried that with some of the
Lived
kids
in,
that
you had party lines.
you
You
take.
familiar with party lines?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, we used to do that over the phone there. I remember there was this thing called It was short lived, I know that, but it was like a porno line. You call up there and give some
What?
sort of yeah. It's actually, I mean, me and my next door neighbor, we went out. I went to his house when we got the info. He went to my house when we got the info. And said we met up. Said you got the party line? Yes, I did. Let's go to your place. Yeah. And we called one. It was around Christmas time, whichever year it was. And I was like, oh, and there'd be some girl like, oh, Santa, is that a candy cane in your pants? Or are you just that happy to see me? I was like, oh, Santa. Oh,
What?
yeah. I swear to God, it was actually like that, man.
Mm.
But it's like, to
Thanks,
think
Uncle.
about it now, and this is way before Pornhub, for the crying out loud, man.
How about the girl from Ipanema?
Wait again?
The list.
Oh
Remember the
yeah, oh
list?
yeah, that's right. We got sidetracked with the conversation we were having, but you know what? I'm glad we had because it brought back a lot of
Thank you.
memories. Yeah.
Yep.
I would like to take some of these young kids today and see how they would dial with the old phones that we had as kids and see how they react.
Yes.
I'm pressing on nothing's happening. No, you got to turn the thing there. I don't know how. I just like well, welcome to our world, kids. All right. I guess whose turn is it on the list spectrum here?
Well, I
What?
did say girl from Ipanema, but either one of you familiar with that song?
I don't think I have. No.
Astrid and Gilberto, I think, from the 60s.
Oh, okay, there. I see. All right.
Where?
YR.
Or do you want me to read the rest of my list?
How about a little, yeah, go ahead.
Last Trip to Tulsa, Neil Young.
I
Mm.
see there. All right, this is the last one on my list here. It's by Coldplay, and did I mention Coldplay's Amsterdam earlier?
Yes.
All right, there. So I guess let's see here. I mentioned. Oh yeah, this one's also by the group Train, who we mentioned earlier. Meet Virginia, and that's the end of my list there.
Okay, my next one is Eric Clapton, Tulsa Time. It's an
Ah,
old Don
Mm.
Wick
all right,
country.
all right there.
That was your country alert.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Brown.
This is the very last one. I just found this at the very last here. Song called "Woke Up in Japan" by 5 Seconds of Summer, and that's the end of the list for me there.
How about Paul McCartney, London Town?
Oh yeah, the album the same name there. That's the one with Little Luck on the as a hit single.
And let's jump back to country. Abilene, prettiest town I ever seen.
Ah,
When there, what you mean in Abilene? Hi, Abilene.
all right. YR, you
I know
All
what
next?
right.
What?
No,
that
I'm,
one.
I'm all out.
I'm
I'm
all
all
out
out.
too there.
Hey, how about the Eagles Hotel California?
Oh, we know that. I think that was mentioned on the last
We did
episode.
mention that,
Yeah, we did.
yes.
Yeah, but it is worth mentioning again.
It's a long song, so we mentioned it twice.
Yeah, that's true there.
Last one is a Chuck Berry song covered by Johnny Rivers called Memphis.
Wow.
Mm.
All right there. Okay, I think Johnny
Mem-
Rivers did it as well there.
Memphis, Tennessee.
All right.
Help me find the party. Tried to get in touch with me.
All right. I
She
remember
could
that
not,
one.
but I know who placed the call.
All
Thank you,
right.
Dr. Brown.
Thank you too, YR. Okay, and I guess that's probably closes out our episode for this evening here because it is getting that time. We did about close to almost. Oh yeah, it's about an hour and 44 minutes in now, and I got
Mm-hmm.
some stuff to do there before I get up in the morning tomorrow. Wish me luck on this thing that I'm doing there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
there, and
Be all right.
so it'll be a couple weeks before and Ark, you still doing your Patreon? The shows there?
Yes.
You know what? Definitely YR. You should definitely
Yes.
join Ark on whichever he is on the subject he's talking about there.
Yes.
Yeah. Now when I come back to this show here, I definitely want to talk about the many record labels, whether it's Capitol, Epic, you know, Monument, you know, Cap Records. There were so many record labels out there that were known, lesser known, you know, some
Corn,
start that are still around.
peppercorn.
Capricorn Records, Capitol Records. That's still running, believe it or not. There, but it's under this different distribution. It used to be under EMI back in the day. Now it's under Universal Music. But they're still running in Hollywood, California. There, in fact, their building is not hard to miss. Maybe
Thank
also,
you.
all right, thank you guys as well. There, all
Oh,
right. All right, there. Like I said, wish me luck on this whole thing there, whether which begins tomorrow there.
Yes.
All right,
okay.
there. All right. I'm gonna relax a little bit, probably before I head. I'll probably come up with some dark soundscape,
You
demos
gonna do a
here.
bicycle video?
No, I'm not. I'm not riding my bike.
Uh,
I'm gonna be heading to bed in about an hour or two there. Yeah.
Hey, me too. See
All
you
right.
later.
All right. See you guys later. All right. For
Thank you,
Arknolia.
honeys.
For YR and Arknolia and myself, you guys have a good one. Bye bye.